Deep within the misty mountains of ancient China lived a young monk named Junpei. "How can I find the Tao?" he asked his master, "when the world is so full of distractions and people who seek to annoy me?" The master, an old man whose skin looked like the bark of an ancient plum tree, simply smiled. "Go to the lake at the edge of the forest. Take a small boat out to the center. Meditate there, alone, for the next 3 days. Do not come back until you have found silence." Junpei did as he was told. He rowed a small wooden skiff to the very center of the vast, still lake. The water was like a mirror, reflecting the blue sky and the white clouds. There was no one around for miles. The first day was glorious. In the absolute solitude, Junpei felt he was finally making progress. Without the chatter of the monastery or the clatter of bowls, his mind began to settle. This is it, he thought. The secret to enlightenment is simply being away from others. He felt a sense of superiority over the monks left behind. He was the one who had mastered the silence. On the second evening, a thick fog rolled across the lake. Junpei sat in the middle of the boat, his eyes closed, his breath steady. He was deep in a trance when suddenly, thud, something hit his boat. Junpei's eyes flew open. He felt a surge of heat rise from his stomach to his neck. "Who would dare disturb me?" he thought. "I am in the middle of the lake. I am meditating." He looked through the fog. A dark shape loomed against his boat. Someone had rowed right into him. He felt the familiar, stinging bite of anger. He began to stand up, his fists clenched, ready to shout at the intruder for their carelessness, their stupidity, and their lack of respect for his practice. "You fool!" he began to yell. "Do you have no eyes? Can you not see that I am—" The words died in his throat. As the fog shifted, Junpei realized the other boat was empty. It was just an old tethered skiff that had broken loose from a distant pier and drifted across the lake on the current. There was no one to yell at. There was no one to blame. Junpei sat back down, the silence of the lake suddenly feeling heavier than before. His heart was still racing, his face was still hot with rage, yet the object of his anger was nothing but a piece of wood. In that moment, a lightning bolt of realization struck him. The anger hadn't come from the boat. The boat was empty. The anger had been sitting inside him all along, waiting for an excuse to boil over. The boat was just a mirror. Junpei spent the third day not focusing on the sky or the water, but on that inner boat. He realized that every person who had ever annoyed him, the loud monk, the slow merchant, the demanding master, was simply an empty boat drifting by. They weren't doing anything to him, they were just moving through the world. His reaction was his own responsibility. He understood that if someone is angry at you or insults you, they're like that empty boat. If you have no ego for them to hit, if you are as vast and empty as the lake itself, the collision means nothing. You don't get angry at a rock you trip over, you simply move around it. When Junpei returned to the monastery, the master was sweeping the stone steps. A younger monk accidentally knocked over a bucket of water, soaking Junpei's sandals. In the past, Junpei would have lectured the boy for an hour. This time, he simply looked down at his wet feet, smiled, and kept walking. The master watched him and nodded. "Ah," the old man whispered, "you have met the boat." Most of our anger stems from our ego, the belief that the world is happening to us. When we realize that people and events are just empty boats, drifting on the currents of their own karma and circumstances, we stop being victims. Peace is not the absence of external noise, it is the absence of internal resistance. What do you think? Have you ever had an empty boat moment? A time when you were ready to erupt in anger, only to find there was no one to blame? Share your experiences in the comments below. Let us know how you practice letting go in your daily life. Until then, may your inner waters be calm and your heart as vast as the open lake.